Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're going to continue with multiplication. The first thing we're always going to do is we want to get an idea of what our answer might be near. So I'm going to estimate. Estimating, which I'm going to tell you for the 1000th time, is done before you do the problem. You estimate it. So many of you, I see you solve the problem and then round it. That's rounding, that's not estimating, and that doesn't help you at all. Because if you solve the problem way wrong, if the answer is 953 and you round it to 1,000, but you actually figured out the actual answer and it was 22,486, rounding your answer doesn't help. We round ahead of time. You may round differently than I am. But my rounding is something that I can do in my head. Makes my life easier. Makes my life easier. I have zeros in my ones place in both of those, so I just bring those down. Then all I have to do is know my 9 times 8, which I know is 72. So my estimate for this problem is 7,200. 7,200. So when I'm done, my answer should be somewhere around 7,200. Now now these are called factors. We learned a little bit about that when we talked about divisibility rules and prime and composite numbers. So 94 is a factor, 83 is a factor. We're trying to find the product. Now some people like to break this problem up like this into different parts. So I can multiply 94 times 3, because that's really all I'm doing. I'm doing 3 times 4, 3 times 9, so 94 times 3. This 8 is in which place value? 10's place. How much is 8 tenths worth?
80.
80. So I can do 94 times 80. And whatever I get, if I add those two products together, it's going to be the same as doing it the whole standard algorithm way. We've seen videos, we've seen PowerPoints, we've seen number talks that show a bunch of different ways to multiply numbers. So don't be afraid to use those. So we have 3 ones times 4 ones is
12 ones.
12 ones. 12 ones is the same as saying 2 ones and 1 10. 2 ones and 1 10. Now I have 3 ones times 9 tens is 27 tens, but I also have another one that I brought from over here, 28 tens. 28 tens is the same as saying 2 hundreds, 8 tens. Now similar to what we did yesterday in our math talk where we had where we had which one's bigger, and we had the 800s and 57 tens, and you had to figure out which one's bigger. Okay, now y'all have some little poem or song that y'all sang in elementary school that just says, and then bring it down to 0 and do the hokey pokey and dance around. The reason we put a 0 here is because my 8 is now in the tens place. My 8 is in the tens place. So 8 tens is worth 80, so I have to start in the tens place. So now I'm taking my 8 through. 8 tens times 4 is 32 tens, or 2 tens, 3 hundredths. 8 tens times 9, 72, but I also have these extra 3, so that makes it 75. And then I have to find the sum of those, which is going to equal 2, 0, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7,802. In the same ballpark as my problem, or as my estimation. Now what I did here is I multiplied 282 times 3, 94 times 3 and got 282. I multiplied 94 times 80 and I got 7,520. If it is easier for you to make it into expanded form, to take one of my factors break it into expanded form, then do it that way. I just want you to be able to get it done correctly. I'm going to estimate here. I'm going to do 30 times 100. And I get 3,000. So my estimate should be somewhere. My estimate's 3,000. So my answer should be somewhere near 3,000. If I get 18,289 and 4/10, I've probably gotten it wrong. That's why I estimate first. Now the actual problem I'm going to do is I'm going to do two different problems. I'm going to do 34 times 8, and I'm going to do 34 times 90. 34 times 8 and 34 times 90. Because I have 8 ones that I'm multiplying by 34. I have 9 tens that I'm multiplying by 34. So if it's easier for you to break it up and do it this way, then do it that way. And then just add the two products together. Let's go. 8 times 4 is 32. So I have 32 ones, or 3 tens and 2 ones. 8 times 3 is
24.
plus the other 3 tens I carried over.
27.
27. So I have 27 tens, which is the same as saying 2 hundreds and 7 tens. So I just multiplied 34 times 8, and I got 272. Now I'm multiplying 34 times 90, which means I've got to start in my tens place. That is why the 0 goes there, and you do the hokey pokey. I don't want to accidentally use that in my regrouping, so I'm going to cross that off. And now we have 9 times 4, which is
36.
36. So I have 36 tens, or 3 hundreds and 6 tens. 9 times 3 is
27.
plus 3 more,
30.
30. So as long as I did my math correctly, and if I didn't, y'all should have spoken up then or forever hold your peace. It's just like breaking up a wedding. 2, 13. So the answer I got for that, the product was 3,332, which, again, is in the neighborhood of 3,000, which is my estimate. I always find my estimate first. So I'm going to make this one 20 times 50. My answer should be somewhere near 1,000. My answer should be somewhere near 1,000. We got 8 times 3 is 24. 24 ones is the same as 2 tens and 4 ones. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 2 more is 18. So 23 times 8 is 184. Then I'm going to multiply 23 times 40. And I just put that 0 down there. I'm starting in my tens place because the 4 is in my tens place. So I put that 0 there. Now I do 4 times 3 is 12. I have 12 tens, which is the same as saying 100 and 2 tens. 100 and 2 tens. Same value. If you have $100 bill and 2 tens, it's the same as having 12 $10 bills. That's what I'm saying too. Now I do 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 1 more is 9. Add these together. 1,104, if we did all our math right. If we didn't, please speak up now or forever hold your peace. Hey, boom. Shakalaka, peace out. God bless. Love you to some kind today. Save the bees. Please subscribe. I love you, Rich.